In this next video, I'm going to review how to place points via the Place Object Points option in Field Points. And I'm assuming that you've already watched the other parts of this playlist, and if you haven't, I'm going to link the playlist down below because there's going to be some helpful tips and tricks in the other videos that go over how to edit your points after you make them. If you need help with that, you'll see that in the other video. So for this video, we're going to do point creation, but we're going to use this Place Object Points option. As you can see, I have a plumbing drawing behind me, and I want to be able to quickly place a point at every single sleeve location that I need. So as you can see in this menu, it's asking me the entities that I would like to place my points on. Well, my entities are going to be these circles that represent my plumbing sleeves. So the first thing I'm going to do to help myself out is I'm going to turn off all the layers that I don't need accessible right now and only show the layers that have my sleeves on them so it's easier for me to work with. So as you can see, I've frozen all the layers except for the layer that I would like to place my points on. I want to place a point at every 2-inch plumbing sleeve that I have in this drawing. I know this is a simplistic example, but I think it'll help you. When I go to Field Points and Place Object Points, I'm simply going to have the tool select the entire drawing because the entire drawing has all of the points that I want to place. And you can see that it found 218 entities. If I come down here to the entity types, it's finding lines, polylines, points, circles and ellipses, and arcs. And it makes sense that it only found circles and ellipses because that's all I selected was that circle layer. I will go ahead and click on this entity here because that is where I want to place my points, on those circles and ellipses. Now up here, you are invited again, as I've shown in other videos, to edit the entity you want on your point, the description, the layer of your points, etc. So I will indeed go ahead and place my points and all the information I put on my points on the layers that are available to me. And if you want the tool to place a point within the circles that are already in blocks or external references, you can indicate so here. On occasion, you might be accidentally overlapping points, so it makes sure that you have a stopgap to make sure you know what you want to do in that situation. Leave original, replace with a new point, or place an overlapping point. Completely your choice based off your preference. Here, you can simply make sure you tell the tool what point number you'd like to give this. So in my case, I'll go ahead and call these 2-inch, 2IN, to indicate the 2-inch sleeve, with a number of 1 to start, and I'll go ahead and leave out a suffix. As I've done in the past, I'll go ahead and make my placement settings for my elevation at a 0 elevation because it's a 2D drawing. And as far as the location where the point's going to go, I need to indicate that I want it to be at the center object snap. So yes, I have all my circles selected, but where on that circle do I want the point? Obviously, I want it at the center. And finally, I can add any attributes I would like to the point if needed. So now that I have all of my settings set up, the next step is to simply press place. As I zoom in, you'll notice that it placed the point at every single entity. 2-inch was the prefix, and this point in this case is the point number 78. I have point number 53 here. If we keep going up, point number 70, point 74. And just as I'm observing how it numbered my points, it numbers it in the order that you placed it, but in reverse. So for instance, at the top right corner, this plumbing sleeve was placed last, but it's indicating as 2-inch 1. So that's coming up as point number 1. And this sleeve up here was placed first, and it's coming up as 218. Either way, though, it has a number that will follow fairly in the same order that you placed them in your model. So now what I would do if I was doing this for the entire project is, of course, I would go and turn on all my other layers one by one and place points automatically on them to quickly get all my points created in a very efficient manner. Finally, once you're done creating your points, you can simply go to the export options and export as you choose. Again, HPL30 is proprietary Hilti file for Hilti tablets, or CSV and TXT, which are industry standard for any point cloud on total stations. Now, if you ended up making a mistake where you placed points on certain objects that you don't need points on, there is an option right beneath Place Object Points called Remove Object Points, where in this case you simply open up the dialog box, select the entities where you don't need the points. So let's say that, for instance, I don't need object points on these entities, and I'll say Enter. And simply I'll say I need to take these circles and ellipses that I've selected, and I need to remove the points at the center of them, and I'll say Remove. And they'll simply go away. I know this was a simple tutorial, but I think it gets you a starting point. Please leave any questions you have in the comments.